Good afternoon, and welcome to day 4 of our 14-day journey for our friendship walk. Okay. Um, Today, I want to get into the source of friendship. That's what I want to focus on, the source of friendship. We've been talking about friendship, what it means, and stuff like that, but I don't want to get sidetracked as to the source of friendship. Okay. Basically, God initiated friendship. Friendship with us was always there. His son Jesus furthered the relationship, becoming God in flesh and leaving his footsteps in the dust alongside men and women that he called friends. The God who invented friendship is also the source of friendship. And God has invested so much in us already. He has given us the desire. He's placed desire in our hearts for meaningful friendship, and He wants to fulfill that desire that we have. James 1:17 says, "Every good and perfect gift really does come from my loving Father in heaven." Okay, true happiness consists not in multitudes of friends, but the worth in the choice. Okay. You don't have to have a whole bunch of friends surrounding you, a huge entourage. We need to be concentrating on the worth of the people that we're choosing to call friends and our choices. Okay. Um, from our friendship book, I want to touch on some things that stick out at me. One of the things that Jesus did was he got down in the trenches of life with people that he came across. There was no one that he did not consider a friend. Even his enemies, he considered to be friends. He got down and held the hands of the sick, wiped their brows, their fever brows, held their hands. He even lifted those who had stumbled and fallen. That is what a true friend does. He whispered loving acceptance to those that needed to hear it, that were being ridiculed by other people. He even showed us how to be a perfect friend. He was the example, the example of being a perfect friend. It was a friendship without strings. Jesus doesn't love us if, he just loves us. And his love is not based on our merits, no no amount of money that we have, our social status on social media, none of that. Not the cars we drive, the houses we live in, none of that. It's just based off of his love for us. And he said he did not he we did not choose him, but he chooses us. John 15:16. You did not choose me, but I choose you. That means something. Just think about that. When you become friends with someone, did they choose you or did you choose them? Obedience is God's framework for friendship. We got to have obedience in his framework. During the Last Supper, if you can envision this in your head, Jesus sat down with his apostles, his friends, those that he walked with in his ministry, and he said these words from John 15:14. You are my friends if you do what I command. The word if prefaces a condition. For example, you can have a cookie if you wash your hands. You might get a better job, if you get good grades in school, right? It's always that if. We have seen that friendship with Jesus is unconditional. In his words and actions, Jesus repeatedly welcomed people into a personal, intimate relationship, regardless of age, gender, social place, um, even the more colorful sin. Okay? He still welcomed the sinner, and we're all sinners, to be his friend. No sin is greater than the other. We're all sinners, and we'll have to stand before God and answer the question. Okay? But let's go back to that verse. You are my friends if you do what I command. Was Jesus putting conditions on our friendship by demanding obedience? Does that not contradict? Can friendship be unconditional and have conditions at the same time? Without Jesus, probably not. You can't. Um, but when you put faith in and factor that into everything, there's a supernatural dynamic that's involved. And that supernatural dynamic is the Holy Spirit. Jesus said, I am the vine, you are the branch. If a man remains in me and I in him, then he will bear much fruit. But apart from me, you can do nothing. So without Jesus in our lives, we can't do anything. And we're all looking for our salvation, right? Um, we don't want to die and go into that fiery lake. We're looking for our salvation. And our salvation is developing a friendship with Jesus. We cannot go to God except through Jesus. You cannot go around him. And Jesus was the sacrifice. Apart from Jesus, we can do absolutely nothing at all. He is the source of our friendship with God and the supply for all conditions. Simple as that. God's purpose is a loving purpose. His design is redemptive, not destructive. I want to read this from you because I don't want to mess it up, but it's very important. His plan is for our highest good, even in the face of our deepest rebellion, even when we're sinning. His plan is for our highest good in the face of our deepest rebellion. His love has no limits. His mercy has no boundaries. His forgiveness has no exceptions. He can love us at our very worst with the very best intentions. Can we be friends like that? That inclusive design for friendship with God exists before the first planets spun into orbit. Think about that. Before God created the first planets, he already had an inclusive design for friendship. That's in Ephesians 1 4 through 8. You don't believe me? Go look it up. Jesus' sacrificial purpose. Nowhere is the sacrificial aspect of friendship more clearly revealed than in the life and purpose of Jesus Christ. Jesus told his disciples, greater love has no man than this, that he laid down his life for friends. John 15:13. That was more than a sermon for Jesus. That was a way of life. That was a way of life. No one was exempt from his friendship. No one. Even when they was trying to get him ousted and plotted to kill him, he still cried, he wept, he was hurt because they was rejecting his friendship. Do we care about that? Do we care about that in our friendships? This message today is not really designed to, even though we're on a 14-day journey of talking about friendship, it's also designed to reach those hearers, listeners, watchers on my channel to draw you closer to in a relationship, a friendship with Jesus, because your soul depends on it. I am an evangelist, and I wouldn't be doing what God has called me to do in my ministry without saying this. Develop a relationship with God. He has given us the example of what it is to be a friend, how it is to be a friend, what's the purpose of friendship. And it doesn't matter what your sin is. Long as you get right in the eyes of God, and that's the only person that can save your soul. I cannot oust you from a group. I cannot say I don't like you because you walk a certain kind of way. I cannot do any of those things that exclude you from your soul salvation. I was on social media the other day and I saw a good friend of mine. And I can't really remember what the post was, but it was all like, you get sick and tired of hearing somebody say what, and that person saying that Jesus can change his life, his or her life. And I said, wow, where are we? Where are we? Do we feel like God or Jesus' sacrifice didn't matter? Are we so content on doing what we want to do and not worrying about what's to come when we pass, where our soul is going to be? Because God designed friendship and relationship because he created us and he wants us to be in relationship with him. Something that's popping to my mind, that we're used to thinking of friendship as two-dimensional, and it's really not two-dimensional. Yeah, it says that Jesus, that we're supposed to love him. He loves us and we're supposed to love him back. That's two-dimensional. But God had a three-dimensional design. Did you realize that God's unconditional love for us was the momentum for our human interaction and the model for building meaningful relationships? Have you thought of a relationship with the God of all creation in that way? I mean, God created everything, everything, the stars, the light, the dark, everything. And he wants a relationship with us. We're important because he constantly pursues us. He pursues us relentlessly, consistently. He does not give up, even though we rebel. His love is alive, moving, working, renewing in us, around us, and through us. That's three-dimensional. You guys know I like to sit out on my patio. I do not like the wintertime because then I have to come in the house. And then I try to find my space, my sacred space, my spiritual space, so I can connect and meditate. But I do love being outside because everything is moving around, and You just see God in everything. I love my hummingbirds. You guys know that I love my hummingbirds, the butterflies. Just everything has a purpose. The wind. Sometimes I have wind chimes out there, and sometimes the wind blows, and it's a whisper of "I love you, I love you. It's gonna be okay." May sound corny, but it's not. That's my patio is my safe space. Is my safe space to be with God. God created us and He loves His creation. We are not an afterthought. We're not an afterthought. God knew us even before He formed the earth. You can find that in Ephesians. We are His plan, and He desires to live in a relationship with us. He created us in community because He desires that we also live in relationship with people. I always say, and I'm being transparent here. I'm not a people person. I don't like being around a whole bunch of people because people are mean. People are hurting, and hurting people hurt people. And I just want to spare myself from that. But out of the same breath that I say that, Jesus went through the biggest hurt. So it's like you just got to do what you're called to do. As individuals, we are custom made. Custom made. And this is my favorite part. We are uniquely unique. No one else is like us. I like to think of myself as unique because how my name is spelled. It's a Stephanie thing. Stephenie. I'm unique. I'm different. I'm not like everybody else. God created over billions of people on this earth, and there is no one like us. They don't have the same fingerprint, and their makeup and design is nothing like us. We are unique. And He knows each and every last one of us. He created us. He already had us in mind before He even created the world. He already designed friendship and what it's supposed to be like. And we're all unique. And you want to draw connections to, oh, she different. Oh, he different. I want to know her. And that's all this relationship thing is, this friendship thing is. This is why I wanted to take this 14-day journey, because I have people in my life that I feel God has placed in my life, and they are genuine, and we're all unique, we're all different. But in them, I find things that I am comfortable with and that I need from them. And God has given that to me, blessed me with that. We have our own DNA. We are irreplaceable in His eyes. No, something happened to me, I'm gone. There won't be another person like me. Now, there may be an essence, but it won't be another person like me. It won't be another person like you. His unconditional love is a gift love. Gift. And we all love gifts, don't we? Yeah. He does not constrain us to respond to Him. We have free will, creating us uniquely and giving us free will. God makes it clear. He makes it clear that He wants a relationship, a purposeful two-way interaction. He makes it very clear. Think about this. Let me see. By placing us in families, in communities, in relationships, God demonstrates that He wants our relationships to be three-dimensional, drawing from Himself, the source, and relating to others in love. Right? Um, I want to close with this. Jesus lived out God's loving kindness in the most people-saturated ministry that the world has known. Yet even those closest to him turned their backs on the blessings of his loving commitment to them. Jesus' apostles each turned from him at the time of his betrayal and arrest. Even his own brother James misunderstood his cause and distanced himself from Jesus. Can you imagine that? We cannot say the same for God. He always keeps his end of the bargain. Faithfully, consistently, lovingly, relentlessly pursuing us and holding up his promises to us. So I'm going to stop right there because tomorrow will be day 5, and I have a friend that will be joining me, and we will be talking about um, friendship, our friendship, and what it means to us. So I hope today's message resonates in your spirit. Nothing that God does goes out void, it comes back bearing fruit. And I am confident in that. And I'm praying for you, praying for you. So have a wonderful day, and I'll see you back here on day 5. Okay?